Oh, first of all, Pittsburgh played a great game. Hats off to Coach Christ and his players. Played at a high level, and certainly respect that team. Having said that, we overcame a lot tonight. Made uncharacteristically some mistakes. Turning the football over obviously twice in the end zone. Last year, that would have been a loss for us, but our team kept fighting, kept playing. I told them that they have to understand that everybody that they play against will play their absolute best. Next week, BC will play out of their minds against us, and Wake Forest will. And they can't just highlight certain teams on their schedule because they will play their very best. And I think that's a lesson learned for our football team. I think the way the game kind of swung was that first half we left points on the board, or that we left points out there that should have been on the board. Two very good drives early on that did not result in scores and touchdowns in particular. Missed field goal, missed extra point, interception in the end zone. Couple of missed fits and tackles. I could go on and on, but I'm proud of the way our guys fought and persevered, kept playing when it didn't look good. They kept believing, and really proud of two other things. One, of our coaching staff. As you know, I'm listening to the game on both sides, and our coaches stayed positive. We're there for our players when things weren't going well. It was not it's your fault, this is why we're not winning. It was, get back to what you do and how you do it. And I was just really proud of my staff and the way that they executed the game plan and stuck with it. And then Everett Golson. As you know, we replaced him. He missed a number of things that we thought he needed to have down by this time. Brought Tommy in. Had an untimely turnover and went back to Everett and thought he competed his butt off. He's not perfect, but the boy competes. And, man, did he just kept competing in the second half and found a way for us to get enough points on the board. So he got the game ball. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Brian, right here. Not to take anything away from Pittsburgh, but the last 3 weeks with Stanford, BYU, and then going to Oklahoma last week. Did you have any sense at all this week that maybe it would be tough for your kids to get up for this game or be mentally ready for this game?
No. I mean, we prepared well. We had good practices. There was nothing that would be an excuse today if we didn't come out on the right side of it. We should not be sitting here going, well, we didn't have a good week of practice. We did not play as well as we needed to. We had key turnovers. We didn't fit plays the way we fit. We didn't tackle as well. It was not our best effort. Now, having said that, we played a team that played extremely well today, and we found a way to win. And that's a good thing.
Coach, late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter, you ran 19 plays without going to a running back. What did you see out of their defense and with Everett on his runs that took you that way?
Yeah, I mean, they were playing a lot of cover one, moving the front. As you know, we were having some problems inside, blocking number 97 in particular. We just felt like if we could spread them out, that would give us an opportunity to move the football down the field. I mean, we had 60. I think we had 66 plays last week against Oklahoma. We had 87 plays this week. We felt if we could spread it, we could hold on to the ball a little bit more with running Everett.
Coach, what was it exactly that Everett was missing that made you take him out again? We all thought his name.
I could get into it's just progressions, coverage reads, just things that he'd come in and say, I missed it and my bad, and we're trying to win a football game.
At what point, especially with what he's done the last 2 weeks in the second half, does that leash lengthen a little bit where maybe you'd let him, maybe he's the quarterback start to finish, even if he's struggling? Are you getting closer to that point, I guess is the question.
I don't know how to answer the question definitively other than I get a sense and feel on the sideline, as to where to move with that. And I went up to him. when I thought we needed him back in the game because of the way the game was going, that we needed to be, our quarterback needed to be out there mobile, make some plays outside the pocket. Asked him if he was ready to go, and he said he was, and we put him back in. But for me to have a definitive kind of answer for you, we kind of get a feel for it.
And on the 2-point conversion, was that a design pass? Did he decide to run, or was that he had the option all the way?
No, it's a three-prong play. The first part of it is a sprint out, roll out, man-to-man rollover to Robbie Toma. The second element is a clear out and delay for Eifert to come back. And then the third is the quarterback to keep it.
And you're obviously happy with the way he decided to handle that play? He read the
Absolutely.
progressions correctly?
Absolutely. Very, very, very good on that one. I wasn't going to pull him out after that play.
Brian, you talked about learning a lesson. Do you think they had to learn the lesson beforehand? I mean, I don't know if that goes into how they thought of Pittsburgh and whether they had maybe over-read, circled other games before this. I mean, I wonder if you could expand on that a little bit.
Brian, it's look, we spent so much time talking to our team and having good habits and all those things, and we did. We had a good week of practice, and we just didn't play well, early on. I mean, we dominated the fourth quarter. I can't remember. The numbers were astonishing. What were they? Pittsburgh had
23 plays, 21 yards, 43 plays, 223 yards.
I mean, we should be playing like that for 4 quarters. We had a 15-play drive and an 18-play drive to start the game. We wanted to get off fast, and we didn't put points on the board. So there's a number of reasons, but I guess I would go back to they just have to understand that Pittsburgh or Boston College, whoever, they're going to play really, really well. And you got to play as well as you do against all these teams or you're going to get beat. And they found a way to marshal that in the second half.
How did they, like you mentioned, a lot of adversity throughout. How did you sense them reacting to it on the sideline, your players?
We were upbeat. We were positive. We kept, look, Everett throws a pick in the end zone. He goes, I read it wrong. And we said, you did. Here's what you need to do because we're going to call the play again. We moved to the next play. We moved to the next play defensively. We moved to the next play in special teams. And because we had set that tone on the sideline, I think there was a sense that as we keep playing, we got a shot to win this thing.
Brian, to your left, this obviously isn't the first time you've had to make this decision with Everett. How does he handle that, as this goes along?
I thought he did okay. I mean, I think he's a very prideful guy. He's coming off playing really well. He knows he didn't play quite as well, but he did when it counted. It did when he counted, and he got a chance to go back in there and got the game ball tonight. So it's all a process of learning and developing and getting thicker skin and, paying more attention to detail and practice. And there's just so many levels to it. But I think what I'm looking for is a guy that just continues to mature and grow up. And this was another opportunity for him. He could have kept his head down and said, hey, I can't help us. He wanted to go back in there and help his football team. So that's a learning step for him.
Well, that and just getting past that interception, a big step for him?
I think so. I think in the way that we presented it to him as well is that, look, you read it wrong. We didn't say, hey, all right, Tommy. I think just the way we managed the situation, I think it helped him a lot.
Brian, what is in the makeup of this team that has them win these games that they probably don't win last year or the year before?
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about last year. I think this year, the way our guys believe in each other, they believe in their coaches, they believe they've won these games before, they believe they're going to win. And I just think it's a great group of guys. The leadership's outstanding. We got great competitors, and we made some plays at the end that we needed to make. So I just think it's just more about this group and how they believe in each other and they believe in their coaches.
Brian, down the middle, what goes through your mind when you're watching a kick that could potentially win the game sail toward the upright? Can you say it?
I mean, in all of those situations, there's just so much going on that I can't ever stop for one play and think about one play. I'm always thinking about something else that has to happen. And so I couldn't give you a great answer other than hope he misses because I'd like to win this game.
Just going back to the game tying drive where Everett had the heave pass kind of to Tavares Daniels, just the coming that right after the interception that he threw, just what does that speak to his resolve that he had in this game?
He just plays that way. We would have liked to have thrown it a long time earlier than that when he was wide open. He didn't. He stayed alive, and he got the ball down the field. I mean, we're coming to understand that we're not perfect, as you know, but the kid competes, and, he's got a strong arm, put the ball in a good position. DD made a nice play on the ball and got us an opportunity to put some points on the board.
Coach, speaking of that play, did Tavares have his best game of his career tonight?
Yeah, he made some big plays when we needed him, certainly. He made some big plays against Oklahoma as well. We just he's in that same level of trying to get better each week. And he's going to be a really, really good football player, as you know, for us. But he's a freshman, and he's going to have his ups and downs. But he's a competitor, too. And I love having those guys on the field, especially those young guys, because they are a great mix with our veterans, all of them together with great leadership. It's fun to coach them.
And then Ray Graham's obviously a very talented back, but he had 170 yards against a defense that doesn't normally give that up. What were they able to do running the ball against you guys?
Ray Graham broke tackles. We missed tackles uncharacteristically, but he's a great back too. But certainly I thought he ran extremely well. We tackled subpar for us in terms of our defense. I know Coach Diaco would not be happy right now, but they found a way to shut him down in the second half, and that's the key. We shut him down in overtime. We took him and really were able to control him late in the game.
Coach, Lewis Nix was supposed to be sick early on in the game. He's reported flu.
What do you mean he was supposed to be sick? What do you mean?
Reported as sick.
Okay, he was sick.
And came in late in the game, played extremely well. Tina Sinceri ended up with 5 sacks. Could you report on? Was it chicken soup or? Can you report on Lewis Nix's performance?
Yeah, I don't like the tone of the question itself, and then the chicken soup comment. I don't know where you're coming from. What do you want me to say? The kid was sick all week, and he busted his butt to try to help our football team today. And so, Lewis Nix has got a lot in the bank of trust with me. And if he can't go, there's a reason for it. He was in the infirmary 2 nights, and he came out and he helped our football team.
Coach, here. Matthias Farley, Elijah Shue made a lot of big plays late in the game. What do you think of the young guys playing back there in the secondary?
Well, we have to, as you know, Nicky Barati had to play a lot too. Matthias was operated on Tuesday. He was out cold on an operating table on Tuesday. They put 2 plates and 6 screws in his hand. They put a cast on him. He came back and practiced Wednesday and Thursday. And, mixed it up the best he could. And we had to call on Nicky Barati to come in and help us, as well as Elijah, coming in. And, as you know, he's our nickel, so he's going to play all those reps. So you got, Kavari on there is a freshman. You got Farley's a freshman. Barati's you got 4 freshmen in the back end of that defense contributing really big.
Coach, back here. Will you be pulling?
I'm sorry.
Will you be pulling for USC, LSU, or Oklahoma State at all tonight?
Maybe I should say the politically correct. Yes, we really hope that. I don't really care about that stuff, and everybody says I should care. I care about my football team. I care about the getting better. We're really just focused on ourselves. We can't worry about all those other things. We really can't. I could be politically correct and say, yeah, I care. We're going to watch it, but to be honest with you, we got a lot of work to do with our football team.
Coach, right here in front. The punt return game was a little bit skittish. Dropped the ball late there. Any thoughts to moving John Goodman back into that role?
No. Thanks.